This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Patriots Helping Patriots.com.
Things are just going crazy here today. This is Mark. The reason you don't hear Ian's voice is because Ian's in jail.
Mr. Freeman, the three people did not rise. Please up and move.
I rose for the jury, sir.
Get up and leave.
Ian had a court date today on a charge of two charges: obstructing something, obstructing the lawful duties of a vested bureaucrat or something. I'm not exactly sure what the charge was. I know the word obstructing was involved, and also resisting arrest. So this came as a surprise to everyone, including Ian. There was no expectation that he would be going to jail today. Most of the other times he has gone and done his civil disobedience bonanzas, he has been able to have a situation where he can appeal it, get prepared for jail or whatever, and then if he decides to appeal, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't, and it goes on from there. The judge was having none of that today and sent Ian's butt to jail directly. He got I guess a total of a year with most of it suspended. Tally?
He has 90 days in a cage, we know that, and 270 days have been suspended. So, like you said, Mark, we thought, he might be able to appeal. We've been to a lot of trials, and we see that happen all the time where you can appeal and they'll let you out pending the decision of that appeal. But as you'll find out in our conversations tonight, you'll find that Judge Arnold was just, he wasn't having any of it, like you said, Mark. He was very strict. He was trying to send a message. I think that's probably the best way to say it. And I totally stand behind what Ian did. Just to get everybody up to speed, on August 8th, 2010, a friend of ours, a Keene native actually, Heike Corser, was in the park with some other folks that we knew, Johnny Ray and Dave Dixon and Jackie and others, and so they're just enjoying just a beautiful day. And Heike was she's a free spirit, so she was getting her boob painted by Dave Dixon, who is a great artist. I really like his work. So
this is her breast, just to make sure that we understand.
Her breast,
okay,
not her boyfriend,
right? And so, they were having a beer also. And so that's one of the nice things about, Keene, Central Square. Usually you're left alone, but not on that day.
Now, Keene Central Square is right in the middle of town and has traditionally been a place of protest. This is not just for Free Staters, but in general. That's the purpose of it is the common. It is the area where one goes to protest what one, may or may not believe is right.
Yeah, but they weren't protesting anything. They were just enjoying a beverage and,
Some people might view this as some kind of protest.
I would consider them wrong.
If it was a protest, this was the place to do it.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. But, okay, so they get warned by the cops. The cops then later turn... Oh, and so by the time... So the cops first showed up, and so people called the Pork 411 service, which sends out messages, phone calls. You call it once, and it goes to a network of people. And so that got a lot of people to respond to Central Square, so that by the time the cops showed up the second time, there were plenty of cameras out to document this.
And I think an important factor is the cops were called the first time, I guess because somebody was filling a water cooler up in the fountain at Central Square.
Yeah, it wasn't anybody associated. I don't think Heike knew these people.
Yeah, just some strange activity, and the cops come in, and some people are enjoying beverages, beers in the park. Now, also another point that needs to be made, and I think it's very relevant here, is that 50 feet away, just across the street, are more than one restaurant at which you can be seated outside and drink a beer.
Yeah.
So she was 50 feet from the beer allowable zone. Mm-hmm. She was 50 feet into the beer-free zone, I guess. Yeah. And, so this is part of it. So the cops say, hey, everybody, put your beers away. You can't do this. And, of course, they got some guff from the activists, as they normally do, and then off they went.
Well, yeah, when you say off they went, it was a police officer that had their hands on Heike, dragging her to the police car.
No, I was talking about the first time.
Oh, the first time? Well, yeah, just some kind of warning.
Yeah, some kind of warning. And then they returned the second time, and I'm not exactly sure why they returned the second time, other than they maybe saw people drinking beer when they were going around Central Square. I don't know.
I have no idea.
So they return and essentially, say, hey, is that a beer? You're not allowed to drink beer here. You must dump that out. And Heike didn't wish to, actually, they were going to give her a ticket. And she didn't wish to take their ticket, the summons, as they were calling it. And so as a result, they kept on asking. And, of course, the activists around them, haranguing them and, saying, get out of here, and taking votes as to see whether or not the cops should leave, which I thought, this is all very amusing. And it does speak to what the police claim that they do. Which is, we're just here investigating complaints, or, they say this kind of thing all the time. We're serving the people. Well, these people want you to go away. So it's interesting that that this is how it's been, handled. And so, that as the cops continue their, march forward in this, in the progress of this, because this is kind of the thing that in the court they kept on saying is, well, these activists are making this happen. But it's as if the cops have no choice. The cops do have a choice. They have the choice not to choose to enforce this law, and they could go away. There are lots of laws, two of which that come to mind right here in New Hampshire. It is illegal to urinate while standing and looking upward on Sunday. You could do it any other day of the week, but not on Sunday. Okay, so, are they running around enforcing this law? If they actually found somebody who did this, what would they do? Secondly, you're not allowed to work or play on Sunday in the state of New Hampshire at all. Now, this doesn't get enforced. It would, it would never be enforced. Anytime anybody's ever even suggested enforcing it, it's ludicrous. It's not they're not gonna go break up a baseball game for the kids if because of this. So, they really do have the option of choosing not to enforce this law about the being 50 feet from the beer zone.
Yeah, and I think Ian did a great job today in the trial by pointing this out when he had all three officers on the stand. He made sure that he talked about their discretionary powers, and do they use discretion. He cited what you just said, Mark, about working on Sunday, and so I think he proved the point that yes, things are arbitrary. When they decided to men decide to pull a woman out of a park and put her in a car after she's been handcuffed.
I think so. Yeah.
Why would they be surprised at that reaction? Maybe it's because they wear badges and they think they have special privileges and special rights.
That is precisely the reason. I mean, obviously, people have the expectation that cops are going to be obeyed and that kind of thing. And I guess one has to ask oneself in these circumstances. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, and it didn't surprise Ian that Heike went to jail. It didn't surprise Ian that he went to jail for standing in front of the police car, because he felt that it was wrong that they put her in and were going to try to drive her off. But, one has to ask, what does one do when one feels that the police are acting inappropriately?
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Patriots Helping Patriots. .com. Some folks say you should have two types of investments these days, the kind you can eat and the kind you can shoot out of a rifle. When it comes to the eating kind, you can get 12 servings free. Learn more at patriotshelpingpatriots.com.